Welcome, everybody, to Cup with Gup on this chilly Monday, November 1st, here in Norman, Oklahoma. Hopefully, everybody had a safe and happy Halloween yesterday. We're officially on to Thanksgiving and Christmas watch now. Took down all the decorations earlier today here, Halloween stuff, and getting ready for winter. So it'll be fun. Always love Halloween. Had a good time with the family yesterday. Good games tonight, I think, or interesting games, probably the better way to put it. Chiefs being favored by 10. Probably a little surprising with the way that they play, but they are home. It is Andy Reid off of a bye, which is hard to go up against. The Giants haven't been great necessarily, but could get some weapons back tonight. Jones is always capable of scrambling, keeping plays alive. Chiefs should win, but we got to see if there's been any improvements on this bye week on that defense more than anything. Right now, use the code CUP, get 20% off any package. Includes a 7-day free trial. The Green Machine lineup builder has been amazing. Helped me Saturday at night. College football was big this week. Hit for $40K on Saturday. Green Machine was all I used for the Saturday night slate. Just loaded my player pool in there, let it do its thing, and did well for me. Have a lot of new faces joining. Appreciate all the help, all the support. Gave away, how much did we give away? 600 in Millie tickets plus a 121 ticket to the NASCAR on Sunday. Did all that Saturday night after the big win and gave it away Sunday morning. Love giving back to the community. Great time to join. We got a lot going on. Last week of NASCAR this week. Ryan's been crushing it over there. A little bit of bad luck this week, but I know we'll be ready for the final race this week. Some good pots over there on Draftkings for the final race. We got Maction starting back this week. We get 3 games tomorrow night. I think there's college games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week. So definitely, obviously, we have all the goods in college football right now going. Come check that out. NFL Showdown. We get a decent PGA event this week with some bigger names up there on the board. So it'll be fun to dive into that. Last week was not only hard just because the field was not great, but the weather and the issues there, the unknown, and wind up being a pretty good advantage for PMAM. I went light last week, small loss, but I didn't have much invested. Just with all that going, looking forward to Mayakoba this week, where we get some of the bigger names in golf back over there. Rate and review us on iTunes goes a long way. When I do big giveaways, I go to look at that. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell me in the comment section who your favorite captain is tonight. Tricky slate. We'll get into that in just a second. Underdog right now. Use the code GUP. It is in the description. You can click the link. Get a free dollar for dollar match up to $100. I like their pick'ems that they have there. I'll use them and Monkey Knife Fight. Obviously, I'll go back and forth looking at the better odds. But you can mix and match the sports over there, so I really like that. They virtually have every sport. They got Monday Night Brawl tonight, too, if you want to go check it out. You can win up to 20x on your parlays. NASCAR. I think NASCAR, UFC, and then all the big sports. PGA will be back this week. I don't think they had PGA last week just because of the field, but they'll have some PGA over there. And we're trying to build our bankroll for May when they start releasing the big best balls next year for NFL. A lot of people probably got hurt today with the Derrick Henry news on best balls. Probably even the Winston news hurt some, but I know Henry obviously was high owned. My best lineups that I got going, I'm winning a couple of them, do not have Henry. So it's actually a little helpful to me, but you never want to see a stud in the NFL like that go out. They're not saying out for the season. He's having surgery tomorrow. Says no timetable. We'll see. Doesn't sound good there. And that's a major blow to Tennessee. Early lines that stick out to me for this week. Colts Thursday night against the Jets. Brutal loss there. Had the Colts last week in a lot of spots. Went just some bad turnovers. It should have won. They could have had that thing won a couple times. Jets coming off a big win, unexpected win, killed some survivor pools. Short week. I don't know if Wilson's even in the mix to start Thursday night, but I don't think many are running to the table to take Colts minus 10. So that line kind of interests me Thursday night on a short week. Bounce back week for the Colts. They need a win now. That win would have been huge for them as it pertains to our over-under that we did preseason, and then also just having a chance at that division. It's going to be hard to – but now you lose – I mean, Tennessee losing Henry is massive. So Colts got to think positive and just say, hey, we got to find a way to win ball games and get ourselves in the mix. And hopefully Tennessee struggles without Henry, which I imagine they will. Broncos +9 at the Cowboys. Hit the Cowboys last night. I stayed on them, even though the injury with Dak. Even bet a little more once it got to +3. Released it at, I think, -2 almost a week ago. I think it was on Monday night last week. I went ahead and released it. But good win for them. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't want to say this would sound cliche, but, you know, they've covered every game this year. Big win for them. Dak will come back now. I don't think – it just could be a little bit of a letdown spot. They are at home. I'm going to keep my eye on this game and that spread. Denver – the only thing that worries me now is Denver giving up Von Miller. I'm like, okay, are they throwing away stuff and kind of saying let's just get through the season and we'll start a rebuilding process? I don't know. We'll see what else happens before the trade deadline. This is 1 week that I probably don't bet much until we get through the trade deadline tomorrow, just because some unexpected stuff could happen. Bengals -3 at the Browns. Bengals with that heartbreaking loss to the Jets yesterday. A good rebound spot there. Cleveland just hasn't looked good at all. Even in their wins, they've struggled at times. So I like Cincy as an early lean there. Raiders -3 at the Giants. That's a look-ahead line. Obviously, the Giants play tonight. We'll see how they play. I like that number. I think the Raiders are still undervalued a little bit. I had them undervalued for a while. I think they're a good team. We'll see what the Giants look like tonight, though, so I'm not getting too – I mean, they could come out there with Tony and Shepard and everybody except for Barkley and look like a pretty good offense. Their O-line struggles, but, you know, Kansas City's D is not the greatest. So if the Giants can't move the ball and at least stay somewhat competitive here, it's going to be tough to go against the Raiders. We'll watch. We get to watch the game tonight. Falcons +6 at the Saints. I keep getting on the Falcons, and I know it burns me. I'm just interested to see – I guess we need to see is Taysom Hill coming back this week. I think he's been out 2 weeks now with the concussion deal. Falcons always tend to play the Saints really good in general. The Ridley deal does hurt them, so I'm not as ready to jump on it. But even when Hill comes back, I wonder what they're going to do at quarterback. Is Hill the backup, or he's going to take full snaps and all that? I don't know. We'll have to watch that development, but that game intrigues me in general. And then I've seen the Rams recently as 7.5, 8. I really think maybe Tennessee gets it together. I know they brought Peterson in as a tryout. Maybe they make a trade, but nothing's going to replace Henry. Henry saved them at a lot of troubled spots, allowed them to control the clock. Tennessee could get right, and Tannehill could have a good season still. No doubt about that with A.J. Brown and get Julio healthy. But this first game, I would think, would be hard for them to adjust. And you got to go to the Rams. Rams just picked up Von Miller. Man, that number seems like a juicy number. If I jump on anything, it may be that today before that line moves. But I'm not 8. I mean, I guess with 2-point conversions this day and age, that could be a little bit of a key number, but it's not in like 7. If you see 7, I'd probably jump on it. I think it's going to be 7.5 or better. Tonight's game, like I mentioned, Chiefs -10.5, over under 52. Implied score, Chiefs 31.25, Giants 20.75. Out is Barkley, Galladay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Questionable, Caden Smith, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard. I think Shepard's pretty much going to play. All signs point to that. I think Toney traveled with the team. Probably a little more of a true game time decision. Those will have an impact for sure on how you build tonight. My prediction is I'm going to be right around where Vegas is. I think Chiefs 38-28, slight lean to the over. And then, I think that number, depending on when you bet it, it was as low as 9.5, I think last Monday or early in the week, up to 10.5 now. It's probably gonna be right around there. Like I mentioned, Andy Reid off a bye is a tough matchup. He normally plays really, really well coming off the bye. They're at home. They're kind of pissed. They got embarrassed their last game out. Certainly expect the Chiefs to get out and play well on offense. The biggest question is to be what, if any, changes have they made on D. A little bit with the offensive line, too. I mean, the offensive line hadn't been great. I think you could argue their best players, their center, former OU center, rookie. So I want to see that. And then I want to see, does the defense play a little bit better? Are they doing anything differently? I like Tony in this tonight if he plays. I like Shepard. I think Hill, Kelsey, and Mahomes are tough to figure out. They'll probably be the 3 highest owned right there with Daniel Jones. Jones has some rushing upside as well. So that gives him value at that number. If you're trying to cram in a lot of these guys, paying down is going to be an option. Maybe you go a guy like Miko Hardman. My full write-up's up on the side if you want to go check it out, all my picks and plays and everything. Tony's really not that expensive at captain, 10-2. Compared to I think Mahomes is 18,000. So if he plays, maybe even if it's a one giant build and you go captain Tony and then 5 Chiefs, the running backs are interesting tonight because where they're priced at, and let's just assume Shepard and Tony are playing, I think a lot of people are going to drop down to save money, because they're already going to go up trying to get Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Hill, and Kelsey. And so I think those running backs could be really light owned, especially at captain. So that could be a way to get unique. I don't know which one I like better. Probably Darrell Williams. I mean, what's his name? Penny. Eli Penny's getting, I think last week it was 14 carries for Booker and 8 or 9 for Penny. So it's not like Booker got a ton. Booker got most of the third down work. I think he had 3 catches, 3 targets, something like that. But Penny's $600, Booker's $82. So not as high on Booker tonight. They should be able to run some, on this Chiefs, but Daniel Jones may have a good day running, right? I mean, he can pick up stuff with his legs. You also got to think of your game script. Like, if the Giants can get out to a lead or stay competitive, that leans up to Booker. I definitely like Booker over Penny, but I'm just saying the money difference there is, if they're going to be throwing a lot, and probably having to throw down the field, and probably can, the secondary for the Chiefs hasn't shown much. I don't know, the game script there for Booker doesn't look as, enticing to me. And you got some cheap pay down options that you can take risk on. A Pringle, I don't know if I really like Pringle much. I'd almost rather go Josh Gordon. I know a lot of people jumped on him his first game with the Chiefs. I wasn't as high there, but if he's going to be relevant in this offense, you would have to think during this bye week they were able to work some things in for him. So at $200, even if he winds up getting a 0, the upside is he could have a 50-yard touchdown pass, right? And he just, boom, I don't want to say break the slate because I don't think many are going to go there. But he's cheap. You can get in there. Jerick McKinnon, $1,000. I don't mind him as a cheap guy. Demarcus Robinson's on the field a lot, just really hardly ever does anything with it. He's $800. And like I said, Penny at $600. So enough cheap guys there that I think people will get to down some to try to fit in all those studs up top. And this really comes down to roulette of, Kelsey, Hill, and Mahomes. Now, the Giants are horrible against defending the tight end. So if I was leaning, I would say Kelsey over Hill. If you're wanting a favorite, all of them are in play for sure. Just got to be careful because if you start building, a lot of people are going to build that way. A lot of optimizers are going to, they're going to be the optimals. So if you go that way, you either really need to be unique with your one-offs or just, be different in the builds, maybe max 2 of Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, so that you're not ever getting all 3 together. Now, it's risky, but it'll just give you different builds tonight in a game that has a lot of options, especially if Tony and Shepard play. I think they're both could have good games. And so you got a lot of weapons, potentially a lot of scoring. I got 56 points. Vegas has it at 52.5 right now. So are kickers in play? Potentially. I could see the Giants, struggling maybe in the red zone or something like that. Bucker's always, he's pretty solid even when the Chiefs score a lot. I mean, he can kick it good and he can get 50-yarders. They get 4, 5, 6 touchdowns. He's still going to get some points. 4,000's a little, not high, but I'm not running to the kickers, but, especially if you're MME, I think they're in play. Defenses, not as much tonight, but both quarterbacks turn the ball over. I mean, Mahomes has lately. Jones historically has. So you could go that route. They're cheap enough, but there's just other decent cheap options, especially if Tony is out or even Shepard. Now you start bringing in guys like John Ross III, who's $1,200. Pettis is $5,000. Maybe Ingram. I'm not as high as on Ingram tonight at $5,400. But they're cheaper pass catchers that are going to be out there. Of course, Slayton, he's going to be in the mix no matter if those guys are in or not. But if one of them's out, that boosts Slayton, who's only $6,400. I could see those pass catchers for the Giants getting some love tonight just because of their pricing. I think it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. Wrap up a great week 8 in general. Then we head off to college football tomorrow night. Love having some Tuesday night college football. My monkey knife fight picks for tonight. Remember, you get up to a $100 match with them as well. Use the code GUPS, GUPS. Link is in the description. We hit the Thursday night football prop. Missed the NFL one yesterday, though. So let's try to get on a good one. I kind of like these tonight. More or less 3.6x your money. Mahomes over 302.5. Jones over 250.5. If you want, you could add Kelsey over 6.5 catches to that, and that would boost it to 5x. I like both the quarterbacks to throw over tonight, and I think Kelsey could have a big night. You can just do them two. It's 3.6, or you can add Kelsey and make it 5x. Then another more or less 3.6x is Williams over 58.5 rushing and Shepard over 55.5 receiving. I haven't bet that one yet because I want to just make sure Shepard is active. But if he's active, I'm going to bet that one as well. So let's hit those two, get some money in our pockets over at Monkey Knife Fight. PGA, like I said, heads over to Mayakoba. 2 weeks left of that, so it'll be Mayakoba, then Houston, then RSM. So 2 weeks after this week, and we get a little break for once. Initial odds that stick out to me, the guys at the top of the board, just run through it quick. You got JT at 12-1, Hovland 18-1, Answer 20-1, Finau 25-1, Horschel 28-1, Brooks 28-1, Scotty Scheffler 28-1, Hatton 28-1. So much better top field than we had last week, and actually a pretty solid field throughout. There's some pretty good names here. Still missing a lot of the big guys, but should be a fun week to watch it. Always a good event to watch on TV. My initial odds that I kind of like just before I've done models and all that kind of stuff. Brooks 28, Willie Z 33, Wolf or Gooch, both are 40. I like those two. Mito 50, Pendrit 100. Been on him a lot in this fall swing. Almost got there this week. He was one of the rare guys that had the bad draw weather, and he was leading going into Sunday and just kind of had a bad day on Sunday. And then Higgos showed some life last week, 125-1. I don't mind that number as well. Of course, I'll have the full smash factor out either later tonight or first thing in the morning. I'll be back tomorrow with Cup with Gup, go over power rankings, waiver wire, and deep dive into some PGA talk as well. Good luck tonight on Showdown. Let's have another big winner over at Gup's Corner. If you're not a member, come join us now. Use the code CUP. Get 20% off, and it includes a 7-day trial. So if you don't like it, cancel. You never get charged. No risk at all to come check it out. I think you'll really like it. We got a lot of things coming up in the future as we continue to build and improve everything weekly. Appreciate all the support. Spread the word. Thanks again. Let's have some fun tonight. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening.